And I remain very sad. It's done us a tremendous amount of damage. If the European Union wants to survive, it has to change and reform dramatically. I don't think if you go into politics, you should start whining all the time if your opponents do better than you.
Do you think you see the UK going back into Europe in your lifetime? Now, Nick Clegg, thank you for coming on our pod today. It's actually lovely to see you because we did a lot of business together, didn't we?
We did.
Many, many years ago, including a trip to Brazil in which you somehow managed to get the front page of the Financial Times.
Yeah,
when I worked
that's when
there.
you were at the FT.
Yeah.
That was about... I had this great brainwave, which didn't go down very well, of selling shares to the British public in that West.
Yeah, it went down like a bucket of sick.
Very badly. The Treasury hated it, but it's quite a good idea, though.
Yeah, and also you were Deputy Prime Minister at that point in a coalition, and you got the front pages in loads of national newspapers. And you're back here with me now. And you've had quite the career because you were an MEP before joining Parliament. You spent 4 years as an MP before becoming leader of the Liberal Democrats. 3 years later, only 3, you became Deputy Prime Minister in the coalition. It was a lot, wasn't it?
It's a lot, wasn't it?
Packed it in. Feels like a long time, though. It was
a
long
era.
time ago. It feels like a different era. But you were there until 2017, and then you lost your seat in that election. And we're now nearly a decade on from the Brexit referendum. And I want you to take us back there. You ready to go back to Brexit?
Well, we live with it. It's not a question of going back, is it? I mean, it's been hanging over us for a decade.
But let's set the scene first, though, because I think for you, Brexit went far deeper than a discussion about the single market, etc. Because it was the European Union. I think for you particularly, it was a political project. It was a cultural project. It was an identity, right? You were a fierce advocate of Europe. You've been in the Parliament there. Your mother's Dutch, your father's half Russian, your wife Miriam's Spanish. You speak, I've got to read it off. There's so many languages here: French, Dutch, German, and Spanish. I mean, that's just showing off, actually.
Well, some of them are rusty now. Yeah.
Did Brexit feel incredibly personal to you?
I felt it sharply, but I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a lot of people felt that it wasn't a technocratic thing. It wasn't about customs unions and single markets and widget directives. It was about our identity, about where do our allegiances lie as a country? Are we a European country? Are we trying to stand tall in our own hemisphere? Do we work in a spirit of amity and friendship and partnership with our nearest geographical neighbours? Do we, what role do we play in a continent which, remember, and this certainly, loomed large in my family, I suspect, as it does in many others, in a continent which, remember, had just drenched itself in blood twice in a matter of a generation or two with the world wars. So I was certainly aware, like many families are, that Europe is a place of great civilization, of great history, of great achievement, but also one of terrible, terrible conflict and bloodshed. And so I suppose for me, the European Union was never just the thing that was sold to the British people in the early 70s, a common market, because it's good to export your shoes or your cheese or whatever. But it was more than that. It was a triumph of peace over war. After the dictatorships of and fascism of Southern Europe in Greece